The Togolese Republic, also known as Togo, sits in West Africa. It extends south to the Gulf of Guinea, and is bordered on the north by Burkina Faso, Benin to the east, and Ghana on the west. Togo, with a population of over 8.19 million people, is 57,000 square kilometers, 22,000 square miles, in area. Togo's capital is Lomé, located in the Gulf of Guinea. Togo is a sub-Saharan nation, with a good growing climate that supports its dependence on agriculture. While many languages are spoken in Togo, mainly those of the B family, French is its official language. People with indigenous beliefs make up the largest religious group, but Christians and Muslims also make up a significant minority. A United Nations member, Togo is also a member of the South Atlantic Peace and Cooperation Zone, La Francophonie and Economic Community of West African States, Organization of the Islamic Conference, and the African Union. Togo was initially populated by various tribes and later became a center for slave trade known as the Slave Coast, in the 16th century. It was later a German colony until World War I when it was divided by England and France. In 1914 Togoland became Togo. British Togoland eventually became part of Ghana and French Togoland, Togo, gained independence in 1960. After a coup in 1967 Gnassingbé Eyadema served as president for 38 years and became the longest-serving leader in African history. After his death his son For Gnassingbé became president. Between the 11th and 16th centuries various tribes such as those from Ghana and Nigeria entered the region with most settling in the coastal areas. For the next 200 years the coast became a major center for European slave trade and earned Togo and the nearby areas the reputation as the Slave Coast. The Mina from Ghana were the most victimized by the slave trade. In 1884 Germany signed a treaty at Togoville under the King Mwapa III, which declared Togoland a protectorate that stretched from the coast inland. This became the German colony of Togoland in 1905. After Germany was defeated in World War I, Britain and France administered Togoland as two League of Nations mandates. The mandates became UN Trust territories after World War II. British Togoland joined the Gold Coast, which in 1957 became the independent nation of Ghana. In 1959, French Togoland became an autonomous republic of the French Union until its independence in 1960. Sylvanus Olympio brought independence to Togo as prime minister and then president. Soldiers working for Sergeant Etienne Eyadema Gnassingbé later assassinated him in a military coup on January 13, 1963. After the assassination, the head of the Insurrection Committee, Emmanuel Badiol, appointed Nicholas Grunitzky president. However, 4 years later Grunitzky was overthrown in a non-violent coup by Eyadema Gnassingbé. Eyadema, Africa's longest-sitting dictator, then ruled as president for 38 years until his death on February 5, 2005. In 1993, during his reign the European Union cut off aid due to human rights concerns. His son, For Gnassingbé, was installed by the military as president, but this led to an international outcry. However, France, Abdoulaye Wade of Senegal, Olusegun Obasanjo of Nigeria, and other elected African leaders were supportive of the move. This support led to dissent within the African Union. For Gnassingbé responded by stepping down, but calling for elections 2 months later. While he won the elections there were claims by the opposition of election fraud. Violence ensued as a result of the elections with more than 400 people were killed, and an estimated 40,000 people fleeing to nearby countries. The country's reputation was again shaky in the international community as its promises in 2004 to the European Union to the established democracy seemed to be in doubt.